Okay, so continuing with what we were doing in the last session, what we were actually working out was we were working out with the delete now. So adding elements, the three functions available are insert, append, extend. Okay. Now for deleting the elements, I have remove, pop, and there's one more which is del. I'll do that later. We'll first do remove and pop. Okay. Both have a different purpose. Acha. So what is the purpose of remove? Remove ko I have to give him the actual element name. Like Ishita. I want to remove Ishita. I want to remove 90. I want to remove 130. Actual element has to be given to him and he will remove the occurrence. I mean, the element from the list. Okay. Now, my question is, does it remove all the occurrences or does it remove only the first occurrence? And if it is not present, what error does it give? Three stories for me. If I'm giving an element to be removed, is it removing all the occurrences? Is it removing first occurrence? Is it giving me error if the element doesn't exist? Okay. So let's see, this examples are being shown here. This is my list, a sample list, which I'm referring to. If I say remove 30, 30 is appearing twice, you can see here. Can you see that? 30 is appearing here also, 30 is appearing here also, and I'm asking him to remove 30. So when I do so, only first occurrence of 30 is removed. Okay. So that is why index again was like you've seen the returns the index value of the first occurrence of the element. Multiple occurrences removed I have to do in the loop. Like I have to write the code for it. He has not given me ki multiple occurrences remove karne ka code. Okay. The function is individually removing the elements and first occurrence that too, not multiple occurrences. Okay. Next one. If the element doesn't exist, like 90, again, value error, element is not available in the list. Okay. So actual element when I have to give him, I don't know the position, kahan occur karta hai, mujhe nahi malum. I want to, I just know the name of the element and I want to delete that. So it's removed. But when I know the position and I don't know the element, then I go for pop. Okay. So pop is the function where I give him the position, exact position of the element which you want to delete. Right? Now your process could be that you know the element, but mujhe pop hi use karna hai, something like that. So use the index function to get the occurrence of the element, position occurrence of the element, and then use pop to delete it. But then that index will return you only the first occurrence. अगर तुम्हें कहीं और से delete करना है उसको second occurrence, third occurrence, fourth occurrence of the element, then you must know the position, or you must know the way to find out the position of that element, right? So if you know the position, you will use pop. If you know the element, you will use remove. Okay. Now pop can be used in two ways. First, pop without the argument, pop with the argument. That is single argument. You cannot give multiple. Remove को भी single argument आप दे सकते हैं. You cannot say remove 30 also, remove 10 also, remove 40 also. Not together. Again, it is emphasizing on the fact that a function is meant to do a small single activity. So multiple values remove का option नहीं दे रहा है वो तुमको. It is telling you single element, single occurrence removal. The way you want to use it, you use it. Write codes for that. Right? Similarly, now pop can be used in two manners. If you are giving him the argument, he will go to that position and delete the element present there. And show you the element also. Just see one more thing. Remove जब आप कर रहे हो, because आपने element ही उसको दिया है, क्या remove करना है? It doesn't show you the element. There's no output to remove. Okay? After removal, you have to display the list again to see whether it has been removed or not. But pop actually, because you're giving the position, it displays that this is the element what I have deleted. So very logical. Because after position diya, you don't even know what is the element properly maybe. So you want to see what element has he deleted, so it shows you. It shows you that this is what I have deleted. But it is not that it is confirming from you. Do you want to delete it or not? No. Delete कर देता है, but show करता है साथ में. Okay. Similarly, If you are using pop without argument, it is actually going to pop out the last element. ठीक है? ये लॉजिक एक्चुअली स्टैक्स का लॉजिक है. Like I have stack of plates. So you go 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Okay. Now, when you want to remove the elements, you will always remove from the top. So last entered element, last in, first out. है ना? तुम नीचे से निकालोगे तो पूरा stack गिर जाएगा. You will not do that. So you will always remove from the top. So multiple times if you use pop, he'll keep on eliminating the elements, but from the top, from the back side of the list actually. Right? So you want it like that, you may use it in a loop and all the elements one by one by one by one by one will be removed. लेकिन from the back side. सामने से करने के लिए this function is not doing it. Because इसमें कुछ हम input उसको दे ही नहीं रहे हैं. He will work as per his code. And his code says remove the element from the last. Whatever the last element, remove that. Okay? So it is that last in first out वाला concept of the stack. The last element आपने insert किया है, and remove that first. Right? So pop with argument, and the argument is index, not the value. Pop without argument, remove the last element. In both the cases, it will show you what exactly it has removed. But remove doesn't do that. Okay? Acha, if I am not wrong, I may have the third working also, which is my, third element also. Sorry, third function also for deletion, that is my del. Now, del is a very dynamic one. And again, its usage is again very different. There is no bracket in del. Please don't ask me why, but there's no bracket in del. Del is being used differently. Purpose of del is that entire list you want to delete in one go. You want to delete the reference of the list. हटा देना है उसको completely from the memory. So if I say del p, no return, as such nothing message ki are you sure or something like that, no confirmation. Now when I say p is not defined. Okay, so entire list to be deleted, it is del. D section, please remind me that we have not done that in the class. मैंने किसी को बता दिया था वो when you were doing it in the, or maybe I mentioned it in the last class that I have left that out while teaching. So we have to write it. I'm not sure whether you've written or not. So make sure that we check it up when we move to the next class, that whether we have written del or not. Okay, let's remember that, all of you. So del will delete the whole list reference, first of all. Secondly, you may delete a sublist. By sublist, I mean a reference of a slice, like this. Delete from first element to the 8th element with a jump of 2. So बीच में से एक sequence बना के भी आप delete कर सकते हो. This is not possible with remove. Remove element removes a single element. Pop removes single element. So del is more dynamic. It is able to delete the entire list in one go. It is also able to remove as per your slice requirement. अब वो slice में एक element को भी आप refer कर सकते हैं. If you write 2:2:3, it remove the second element. 2 to 3 में single element ही आएगा. ठीक है? So del से आप actually सब कुछ कर सकते हैं. You can remove a single element का reference also. You may remove multiple elements also as specified in the slice. Jump of elements also, like not contiguously remove नहीं करना. I want to remove every alternate element from my list. Even alternate, odd alternate, jump of 3, jump of 5, every 5th element, every 7th element. I can do all that story too with del. But I have to give the slice reference properly. If I do that, it will do it for me. Okay? But the only problem is with del, I'm not able to specify the actual element I want to delete. So del also has its own limitation. Like remove में हम position नहीं बता सकते. Pop में हम element नहीं बता सकते. Del में हम element नहीं बता सकते. Del में हम जो भी बता रहे हैं, we are telling him the position. Like del list single element removal 2. So second element is removed. 7, 8, 5 was there. Now 5 is removed. Okay. So sublist or a reference of multiple elements in the form of a slice, everything you can give with del. No half circle brackets to be used here. Little tricky to remember them, but yes, small things we have to keep in mind. Okay. So third reference of my deletion is the del function. Okay. Now reverse. I want to reverse the order of the elements. Reverse function is there. REVERSE. अब इसमें देखो कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं चाहिए. List one dot reverse and it will reverse the elements. उल्टा. Okay. Actual in place. मतलब list one ही पूरी reverse होगी. अब you cannot get the original contents of the list. Original sequence के लिए आपको वापस reverse करना पड़ेगा. So you'll get the original content. But as such, it is reversed. Completely reversed. At place. I call this thing as at place. Reversed at place. Sorted at place. उसी particular list के अंदर it is being done. Okay. That is reverse. Second is sorting. Now sorting means you are arranging the data alphabetically, numerically, like 1, 2, 3, 4 in a ascending order, descending order. And that applies to alphabets also. Alphabets ka like we call that as a dictionary order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H up to Z or Z से उल्टा up to A. Okay. Now in numbers so it is simple. 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 वाला concept है. Lower to upper and upper to lower. But in the alphabet sorting, you've got two concepts. Because in alphabets, you've got uppercase as well as lowercase. Right? So in this case, what story does is, it does as per the ASCII values. As we know, we have studied in our fundamentals, if you remember, that every character has a numeric value inside the system with which it works. And because everything is dealt with now as numbers only inside the machine. Machine doesn't understand alphabets as such. So every character of your keyboard has a associated number. And those numbers are called as my ASCII values. Okay? Basic English encoding system which we follow. So in that case, your capital A starts with 65. You will say, ma'am, we have to remember the ASCII values of everybody. No, you don't have to do that. Just keep in mind that capital alphabets have a lower ASCII value than the lowercase alphabets. So if I'm just trying to compare, if I show you a comparison, that capital A, is it greater than small a? This kind of a comparison if I try to do. What I'm trying to say here, that please compare the numeric value of capital A with the numeric value of small a. And numeric value of capital A is 65. 65, so capital B is 66, capital C is 67, like that. And the numeric values of small alphabet start from 97. So higher है. आप ये याद रखोगे कि smaller का हमेशा higher है. Right? So when you do like this, your answer will always be false. Why? Because the number associated with capital A or capital alphabets are smaller than the number associated with the smaller alphabets. बस उल्टा याद रखो इसको कि जो बड़ा वाला है वो छोटा है, जो छोटा वाला है वो बड़ा है, numerically. है ना? So that is why if I'm trying to compare two lists also, it compares the first differing character. If I'm saying A, comma, Z, or supposedly capital S, and in the second list I have small a, but followed by I have a capital S to be compared with small s. सोचो एंड बताओ. First differing character he'll compare. He'll compare capital small a to small a. दोनों same है, so he can't judge whether it's less or whether it's more. Now he is comparing capital S to small s. Now is capital S smaller than small s numerically, or is it bigger? What would be the answer in this? True or false? Come on. I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, Mang has given me one. Okay, Arnav, true, very good. Mang, when you write true, be in a habit of putting T capital because Boolean, your answer will come with T capital. So if it is an MCQ question, if it is, obviously, we'll try to confuse you by putting small t wala true and capital T wala true. So make sure that you tick mark the capital T wala true. Okay, so for me, it is true because numerically inside the machine, capital S is smaller than small s. Clear? Clear to everybody? Prabhun, Prachi, Hiral, Shreyas, show me a thumbs up. I'm not getting any responses from your side, so I don't know whether you are understanding it or not. Okay, Prachi? Great, great. Fine, thank you. Okay, so this is how we compare it. So you don't have to remember the ASCII values for everybody. Just remember बड़े वाले letters actually में छोटे हैं numerically from the छोटे वाले letters. Okay? बड़ा is छोटा and छोटा is बड़ा. बस ऐसे याद रखो उसको. So sorting will arrange my data as per that logic. Okay? But if you give him a mix of elements, you say 12, comma tiger, comma prabgun, comma prachi, comma 32, comma 44, comma 44.5, and say sort करो इसको, इस list को. He'll say, I'm sorry, I cannot sort it because when you are applying sort, all the data elements should be of the same type. Okay? So I've written that here very clearly. That sorting can be applied to lists containing data of the same data type. Otherwise, it will give an error. Fine. So by default, sort will do ascending order sorting. If I want it in the reverse order, I have to write reverse equal to true. Now it will do the Z to A wala sorting or 100 to 1 wala sorting. ठीक है उल्टा sort करेगा data को. Now reverse is a keyword also here. Reverse is a function also here. So you have to remember what it is asking. Like in SQL we have studied, drop is a command also. Drop is a clause with alter also. Right? So these things we have to keep in mind. Reverse when used with sort, obviously reverses the sequence of sorting. But here it is a argument, input to the sort function. And here it is a complete function. Okay, so when you check out in the code, you have to see what exactly and the way you are using it. Fine. Next one. The difference between sort and sorted. The name is very similar. Sort भी sorting ही करता होगा, sorted भी sorting ही करता होगा, है ना? But what is the difference? In the case of sort, the original data is sorted. Again, in place sorting. I said list one dot sort. My list got sorted. List one got sorted. अब उसको मुझे फिर वापस करने के लिए I have to see what to do. My original list one. But हमेशा मुझे original list को change नहीं करना. I want to keep the original list also and I want to make a new one also in the arranged order. Okay. So for that, sorted is more handy. But again, if you see, the way to use sorted is different. Unnecessarily they confuse us, no? Sort में हम कैसे कॉल करते हैं? List one dot sort. और sorted में कैसे कॉल करते हैं? The way we have called len, the way we have called max, min, sum. Sorted brackets में argument. Right? So इस तरीके से when you use it, you may assign it back into list one only. If you want to, you may assign it back into some other new list also. So it takes a list as a parameter or argument and creates a new list consisting of the same elements but arranged in the ascending order. Okay. Again, reverse is possible the way we have done it, but the way we use it, it's different. List one dot sort, list one dot sorted नहीं होगा, and sorted brackets में list one dot sorted नहीं होगा. Okay, so when you are kind of making your notes, keep that handy. I have mixed up the sequence, but you don't mix it. So now we know len, sorted, min, max, sum, they all are written in a similar manner. And the rest are written in a similar manner, and del is written in a different manner altogether. उसमें brackets use नहीं होता, half set. Right? Again, min returns you the minimum element, max returns you the maximum element, sum returns you the sum of all the elements, and clear is another function. Again, I think I left out a clear in D section, sorry. It deletes all the elements, keeping the list intact. So that's the difference between del and clear. I'll show you that to avoid the confusion. I'm making a small list here. Now I'm saying clear this list. So D dot clear. Bracket खाली है. Input उसको यहीं से मिल गया. Do you understand this particular story? क्लियर का इनपुट खाली है, क्लियर फंक्शन का, जहां पे ब्रैकेट के अंदर हम इनपुट देते हैं वो खाली है, बट जिस फंक्शन के साथ तुम उसको, जिस एलिमेंट के साथ, इनपुट के साथ तुम उस फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहे हो, दैट बिकम्स इज इनपुट. राइट? So when I say d dot clear, d exists but it has become blank. But if I would do del D, D is completely gone. It doesn't exist anymore. ठीक है? So SQL में इसका if I kind of correlate, deleting all the records, keeping the structure intact will be my clear function here. And deleting the structure as well as the records and deleting everything reference of the table only will be del here. है ना? So every language provides you these kind of thing कि पूरा डेटा गड़बड़ हो गया, मुझे अब उस पूरे डेटा को डिलीट करना है, लेकिन मेरा टेबल रहना चाहिए. So there I used to use delete from table name. Delete command only I used to use कि सारे records delete कर दो लेकिन structure छोड़ दो टेबल का. और अगर मुझे पूरा स्ट्रक्चर समेत सब कुछ डिलीट करना है, then I would go for drop table name. Similarly here also there are two things. Clear will delete all the elements but keeps the list, doesn't delete the reference of the list. Blank हो जाता है वो. You can now add new elements to that list, but the list exists. But in the case of del, the reference of the list, मतलब वो completely चला ही गया. Okay, now Mang has a question. He's asking, ma'am, what is the point of having the clear function? Sometimes it might be required that I want to delete all the elements. You would say, ma'am, list बनाने में ज़्यादा time तो नहीं लगता. Agreed, but they are giving you this option. You may know sometimes you may need it, that I've made a mistake. I want to delete all the elements. Let the reference of the list stay. If I delete the structure itself, actually what happens is, when you work in a multiple user environment, वहां पे आपके बॉस ने आपको लिस्ट बना के दिया है जिसमें आप डेटा फिल इन कर रहे हो. डेटा गलत फिल हो गया, you cannot really delete the list because you don't have the right to recreate it, but you had the right to remove the elements, add more elements. So that right you have. So you use that right and clear all the elements and redo the work. गलती हो गई मेरे से, ठीक है? But then you don't have the right to make the list again. So then going to the boss and saying, sir, sorry, you please make the list again for me so that I can fill in the names. You are avoided from that. That could be a situation. Okay. So that is how all these functions, again, there are many more, but we have to stick to these. You have to understand the way it works, what is the utility of it. And similarly, if you understand that, you may use and read things from the reference books and implement them easily. Okay. Thank you. We have covered up all the functions. Now you do not get time to write them down in the notebook. So I'll give you a worksheet to practice the references. It will be very helpful if you can write the function details in the notebook. If not the details of the functions, at least the function name with one example. Revision भी हो जाएगा, समझ भी आ जाएगा, देखोगे कि आपको समझ आया कि नहीं आया है. Hardly 13 of them, not many, or it's more. Is clear the last one? No, it's 15 functions. So just write the, okay, I've left out the last one also. List function by the name list is converting an existing data in the form of a tuple, string, set, or dictionary into a list. Tuples we don't understand as of now. Set we don't understand as of now. Dictionary we don't understand as of now. So I can only explain you this thing with the help of a string. This is a string. I want to convert it into the elements of the list. If I give this input to the list function, what it will do is every character of the string becomes single element of the list. Interesting thing. These things were not available in my previous languages, So I have a string which is P supposedly, which is my name. Now string has got some limitations. They are immutable. I cannot change the contents of the list, of the string, Doesn't let me do that. Let me try doing it and show you. String object does not support item assignment. Okay? Doesn't let you. But list to karta. I am able to change it up. So some requirement where I have the whole list of data in the form of a whole content of data in the form of a string. But now I have to work on them individually. So rather than creating the list once again, I may convert my existing string into a list. Not only a string, it can be from a dictionary, it can be from a tuple, it can be from a set, the other data types available. Okay. So in F, I convert this into a, I may write Sushmita directly or I have it in a variable, so I'm using the variable directly. Now, if we show the contents of the list, it is available like this. Okay. So existing data type को पूरा data type ही change कर दिया. P was a string. If I tell you the type of P, sorry, if you see the type of P, it's a string. If I see the type of F, it's a list. Amazing beauty, you know, that's the beauty of Python. These things we could not imagine doing it in other languages. Direct change कर दो. ठीक है, we could do them by code. We would take individually one करके element लो, उसको list में डालते जाओ. We can do that. But directly is so simple, isn't it? So 15 functions. It will be excellent if you can just write the function names. I'll post this PPT in the GCR. Write the function names, one-liner, and one example. Revision and understanding will be better. It will be there in the notebook also. You don't always have to open the PPT to revise. And the worksheet you'll get in the next class to practice. Okay? Give some time to this subject also. I know you're all studying bio, chemistry, physics, economics, accountancy. थोड़ा सा time happy को भी दो because the UT went bad. Oh, Lam has written already. Excellent. Okay, fine. I see you tomorrow in school. We have one period. We'll do the exercise questions of this now, practice questions for these. So that this topic is done. A lot of questions will be there in the paper from functions. And they're simple in scoring. So I thought of doing it. Programs are a little longer. वो मैं class में ही करूँगी. ठीक है? Okay. Thank you, beta. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you. I will send the recording as well as the screenshots for you to work on them. Thank you.